Meet my new friend Sonke. Originally from Germany, Sonke made the bold decision to leave his home country at just 18 years old to embark on his first solo trip to the Philippines. Now, 10 months later, he's been volunteering in Cebu with an organization that helps care for disadvantaged children. Sonke and I had a great conversation about what led him to the Philippines, his experiences learning Bisaya alongside English, the meaningful work he's doing in Cebu, the realities of poverty in the Philippines, and so much more. I hope you guys enjoy the video. You're in the Philippines right now, right?
Yeah,
What part of the Philippines are you in?
Cebu,
How long have you been there for?
10 months now.
10 months. Oh, coming up on a year. That's cool. You're originally from where?
Germany.
How did you decide that you wanted to go from Germany to the Philippines?
It was kind of randomly. It was always my dream to go to an Asian country for 1 year after my senior high school. And then I just Googled and I found like a voluntary work for street children in Cebu. So I just applied and I got accepted really fast.
Wow, so it's kind of random.
Yeah, it's so random.
What were the other options? Like, did you see any other countries or cities that you could go to?
Yeah, I applied. Like this was the first thing I applied to, but I also tried to like apply for China and Thailand and somewhere else in Philippines. But so I was sure I want to go abroad, but I wasn't sure about Philippines because I didn't know much about it. We don't get taught a lot about Philippines.
Were you nervous to go there, not really knowing a lot about it?
Yeah, of course I was nervous. I was never like far away from Europe before, and also my family never went there. I didn't know anyone that went to Philippines before, so it was really unknown for me. And like I'm alone, I don't have family here, so it's a challenge for me, but I was ready to accept it, and I'm really happy that I was able to have enough courage.
That's cool, man. I mean, that is very courageous. What did your family think of that? Were they okay with you going far away from home?
At first, never. They were like, also when I said, "Oh, I want to make vacation in Thailand or Philippines," they said, "No, it's too far. We don't want to go there." And then I told them, "Yeah, I just got accepted by this work because I don't really told them before." And they were so shocked, but they said, "Okay, you're 18 now. It's your decision."
So did you feel like you kind of had to do it in secret so that your parents didn't try to stop you?
Yeah.
Wow, that's very clever. Yeah, you're like, it's the ticket's already booked. What can you do? It's done. Have you been anywhere else in the Philippines, or has the entire 10 months been in Cebu?
I was only 2 days in Manila, and like around Cebu, there are some small, beautiful islands. I was there, but mostly just I was half the time in Cebu City and the other half like in the province. It's also nice to experience the province life.
Yeah, it's very different, isn't it? The cities are very different than the province areas of the Philippines. Do you have some like highlights since you've been in Cebu, some of the things that you've seen there?
Last week I went to vacation and me and two friends, they are also German. We tried to go to the highest mountain in Cebu. It's not really that high, but we wake up at 3 a.m. and walk there 5 hours. Other people can just ride motorcycle there, but we try to just walk for the challenge. And all the people were looking at us, so, oh, the foreigners, they are walking. What's happened to them? Also, I made a lot of solo vacations, and when I'm on island, I get invited to hang out on the beach. They invite me to dinner, and sometimes I accept it, and it's really nice. I have really nice conversations.
Yeah, Filipino people are very welcoming, aren't they?
Yeah.
For us English speakers, learning Tagalog can be a real challenge. Trust me, I've been there. That is exactly why I decided to create my beginner's Tagalog course. With over 10 years of experience speaking Tagalog, I made sure that each and every video lesson is jam-packed with only the most useful information. When it comes to this course, the only thing I regret is not having it when I first started learning Tagalog. Ready to learn? Click the first link in the video description below to get started. Now, back to the video. So like when you first arrived in the Philippines, was it a shock for you? Was it different than you were anticipating?
Yeah, I didn't really think a lot about how it is, but I was shocked by the traffic and how many people are there in one place because it's so chaotic when you are not used to how it's working. At first, it was just a lot of sounds and a lot of cars, and I was really overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's busy. It's the Philippines has a very large population for a relatively small country. Like land mass wise, it's not huge, but the cities are busy. I mean, because what's the population of Germany? It's like 80 million or something?
Yeah, 80 million.
And the Philippines is over 100 million. So yeah, and it's much smaller than Germany.
And there are a lot Yeah, there are many more children here. There's like on every corner there's a elementary school, and I really like that it's so young, the population. In Germany, they are a lot older.
Was it hard to get used to being in the Philippines? I mean, 10 months in, I'm sure that you're pretty well adapted. Was that a long process for you to get used to it, or did it happen quickly?
I think it happened really quickly because I'm so open to learning new things and I'm so in love with the Philippines now. So I just accepted how it is here. Like there are some things that I don't really like, but I just accept it and just like try to adjust, and it's working really good.
But you feel comfortable there now generally in the Philippines?
Yeah, I can walk everywhere and I feel comfortable, and
And how do people treat you with you being from a different country?
they recognize me that I'm not Filipino, of course. So they will just, especially like in the area where there are no foreigners, like the kids, they always talk to me. It's so funny, and they scream and they say picture, picture. And the people that I'm closer with, that are used to foreigners, they also treat me really, really well, and we can just do things casually. And I feel like I'm part of them. I'm learning the language here, the Visaya language, and I feel like I'm getting more and more Pinoy now.
Yeah, that's cool. In the group of content creators like myself that are from a different country but make videos about the Philippines, we have this term, like the pusong Pinoy, the Filipino heart. You can kind of become Filipino even without being Filipino just by appreciating the culture. So it sounds like you're on that path as well. You know, you have a pusong Pinoy. So you're learning some Bisaya now.
Yeah,
How's that going?
it's going really well because I was living like in an orphanage. I don't know the English. With 15 street boys together, and like I'm together in one room with them. I'm sleeping there together with them, and that's why I'm every day I only hear Visaya, and then I pick up some words and I try to study vocabulary. And now it's small talk is going really well. Sometimes I visit like the family of my friends and they don't know English, the parents, and I can like talk to them with some problems, but I can understand them. And for talking, I'm a bit too shy, but sometimes it's working really well. Yeah.
Wow, good for you. I think there's a temptation for people that can speak English to only speak English in the Philippines because you can get by, most people speak English. But when you learn the local language, whether that's Bisaya or Tagalog or whatever, Ilocano, it really helps you get closer to the people and understand the culture in a deeper way and things like that. So like, what are some things in Bisaya that you can teach me? Like if I went to Cebu and I wanted to speak Bisaya, what would I need to know?
Maybe you can tell me like something in English and I will just translate.
How would you say like, good morning, how are you?
Mayong buntag, kamusta ka?
Mayong buntag, kamusta ka? It's very similar to Tagalog. The kamusta ka is the same in Tagalog. Mayong buntag is different though.
Really? What's it in Tagalog?
Magandang umaga.
So long.
Very different. I mean, where it's similar is that it's maayong. In Tagalog, they have a word maayos, which means good. It means good, but in a different type of good, if you know what I mean. It's kind of like, it's hard to describe it, but they don't use it to say good morning or good afternoon, but it does mean like generally good, maayos. Like you could say like, kamusta ka na? You could say maayos naman, good in that way. So you can see the similarities. They're very similar languages. Sometimes I can guess the meaning of Bisaya without knowing it because it sounds similar. But how do you say like, what are you doing?
Nagaunsa ka?
Nagaunsa ka. Okay. Wow. Sounds cool. But before you arrived in the Philippines, like, were you already very comfortable in English?
Not really. I was like, of course, I had it in my school, but I wasn't really the best student in English. And most of it I just learned from watching TikTok, watching movies. And now that I'm here in the Philippines, I get really comfortable speaking English because I'm not using my German anymore. I don't know if I can speak German anymore.
You've forgotten how to speak German? I mean, that's really hard though, because like you were learning two languages at the same time. You were learning English and you were learning Bisaya. That sounds pretty difficult.
Yeah, but it's okay because most of the Filipinos, they mix the languages for me. They speak like half English, half Bisaya. So I'm learning two at the same time.
Yeah, I've often thought about that. Like for me, English is my first language. And so speaking Taglish, which is the Tagalog and English mixed together, is easier for me than it would be just to speak straight Tagalog, right? It's half or, 40% my native language. But then I think about people that come from other countries that may or may not even speak English. And then I don't know how they would be able to learn to speak Tagalog without English, because the languages are mixed so much that you almost need to know both of them. And so I guess that's a good point, that if you're learning both, you can do it at the same time. It's all in one.
Yeah, sometimes I only know the Visaya word and not the English word. So I just try to throw every word I know in, and there's no correct grammar, but it's okay. They understand.
Do you want to live in the Philippines now permanently, or when are you going to go back to Germany?
Yeah, I have to go back next month to university in Germany, and then I will try to come here after my studies.
So after your degree is up, you might want to move to the Philippines for a longer time.
Yeah, it's really my dream to live here.
What do you like about living in the Philippines?
I think mostly it's the culture. They are so friendly, so hostile. They're always smiling no matter what, and they're always laughing, funny jokes, and like they don't let me go when I'm visiting some family. They don't let me go outside without eating, and they're so careful. I really like that. Also, they have like 20 cousins or more, and they all know each other. It's really like familiar feeling. And in Germany, I'm not used to that you're like always with the big family, but I really like that.
What are some other differences between German culture and Filipino culture?
I really think the food is different. I got adjusted to eating rice in the morning, and I really liked it because I get so full all the time. I'm not hungry anymore. And it's also, I really love the street food and all the stores on the streets. It's so cheap. I think I can't go outside without like getting a coffee or buying something. And in Germany, I'm too broke. I can't like afford buying a coffee and just casually getting some food from the street.
What are some of your favorite street food options?
I don't know if that's street food, but I really like eating with my friends tuslo.
Okay, what is that?
I don't really know what that is. My friends told me it's like some inside the brain of a pig, but you get a pan and then there's like some like the tuslo. Maybe I spell it wrong. It's so hard for me. And then you put it in the pan and then you get some like the rice inside the green leaves and you can dip it inside and just eat. It's so cheap and really, really yummy.
I think I have actually seen videos of people eating that. I've never tried it before. It's like a very big thing in Cebu, right?
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah, pig brains with rice. Wow. I mean, it sounds like it would be a bit of a stretch if you haven't tried it before. Were you like intimidated to try it for the first time?
Yeah, they didn't tell me it's pig brain the first time. So I said, ooh, so yummy. And they said, it's pig brain.
Yeah, because like the taste is probably fine. It's just the idea of, oh, I'm eating pig brains and whatever. Have you tried some of the other more unusual Filipino food like balut or things like that? Isaw?
I tried balut, but for me, I don't know about it. My friends really like go crazy for it. They always want to eat balut, but for me, it's so I don't like the chicken inside of it, like the
The
yeah,
chick? Mm-hmm.
yeah. I'm scared to eat it.
Yeah, that one's harder because it's very obvious what it is. With the pig brains, you could pretend that it's something, another part of the animal. With the balut, it looks like a chick. I mean, it literally is like right there in front of you. So, yeah, that's a little bit harder. What are some of your other favorite Filipino foods?
I think just the fruits are also really nice. I love eating the green manga, also the buko juice.
Yeah, the fresh fruits are amazing because like in Canada and I'm sure in Germany as well, we don't have those fruits growing there, right? And so we need to like import them from another country and they never taste the same. They're never as sweet when they've come, thousands of miles away. Where in the Philippines, they're just growing right there on a tree and, locally produced and they're so sweet and also more affordable as well because they're traveling less distance before you eat them, right? So that's cool. So you said that you went to the Philippines to volunteer with an organization. So what does that mean? What are you doing there?
They have 4 child homes for around 50, 60 people. And they are like for people where the parents are not able to take care of them. Maybe they don't have parents anymore or they are just too busy because they have too many siblings. And then they can live like inside of the child homes and they get like a lot of activities, a lot of like always food and they get taken care of. And there's also a school, so like they get the private school for free, and also people from outside where the parents are still there, but like they're so poor, they get a lot of help with the money, a lot of allowance. They get help until they finish with their college, so they have the foundation for getting a good job.
Is poverty a big issue in Cebu specifically?
Yeah, there are really like a lot of poor areas, and I saw it a lot because we go there 3 times a week and have some kind of feeding. And it's really shocked me the first times I saw them running around without clothes, and they look so really, I've never seen that they're so small and so skinny. And that really shocked me because I feel like they must have not eaten for days.
So the organization that you work with would go into those neighborhoods and bring food for the people there.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. The poverty in the Philippines is really sad. And coming from the wealthy countries that we do, it's so different here. You know, like we're so lucky that we were born into a country that's more prosperous because, you know, these people that don't have anything, I mean, they didn't choose that, right? You know, so many of those people were just born into poverty. And it's like, wow, like how, you know, how rough is that, you know, especially for kids. That was something that was really hard for me to see in the Philippines. In Manila, you have a weird kind of, what's the word? Two extremes kind of in the Philippines, especially in the bigger cities where you have lots of wealth, you know, huge high-rise buildings with, you know, rooftop pools and expensive restaurants and clubs. And then like one street over, there's like, you know, extreme poverty and kids sleeping outside on cardboard boxes and things like that. And I felt really guilty when I was in the Philippines because I was like, well, I'm staying in this place that's really expensive, but then right next door, someone's sleeping outside. Like, how can I feel good about that, you know? And was that like a bit of a culture shock for you coming from Germany?
Yeah, it definitely was a culture shock. And then when I noticed, I feel so ashamed of myself that I go through a poor area where everybody is sleeping on the floor with nice clothes and like expensive phone and like a coffee in the hand. I was always trying to like hide my coffee when I walk through an area like that because I was so shy. I thought, why do I deserve this? But I have this life.
Yeah, that is the thing, right? It's like, oh, we were born in a different country that's more wealthy. And so now suddenly we're quote unquote, you know, more deserving of this than someone else. And it's like, well, we're not. You know, we're just lucky, you know, like, yeah. So it's cool. I'm glad there are organizations like that, you know, doing that work in the Philippines. It's very important, you know, to look after people that, you know, don't have as much as we do. And so what's it like living in Cebu? I mean, like, I would imagine your day-to-day life is very different than it was in Germany.
Yeah, of course. In Germany, I don't know why, but I was really staying at home a lot of times, just watching movies or something. But now, when I have the chance, I go outside. I go to a mall. I just walk around, like try to explore new places. And it's really like I'm really having fun and it's really different. I don't know. I feel like I turned into a new person. I don't know what I did before in Germany, why I was always inside. But here I enjoy really going outside.
Yeah, that's a really big part of the culture, right? Like we were talking about the kids being outside and playing, but adults do that too, right? They hang out outside, maybe outside of, you know, a little store, a little sari-sari store or something like that, go into the mall. The mall culture was something that I wasn't expecting before I went to the Philippines. How like even small towns have a mall. Like every place has this huge SM mall that is just filled with stores and things like that, and people will just spend the whole day, you know, walking around and checking things out. Yeah, that was unusual to me when I got there. I was like, really? There's these huge malls everywhere? Like, what's the big mall in Cebu? It's SM Seaside, right?
SMC side, yeah. Yeah, I'm going there a lot of times. There's also an Ayala Mall.
Oh yeah, Ayala. I feel like a lot of people in the Philippines also like going to those malls because they have air conditioning.
Yeah.
So it's
I
like more
think,
comfortable.
yeah, 2 days ago, me and my friend was just bored and we didn't know what to do. So we walked inside the mall and then it got bored. We got outside and I think we did this 5 times. We go inside again to cool down, go outside again, cool down again.
What would you say like your favorite thing about Filipino culture is?
I think it's really that they are so open-minded and so kind-hearted and always happy. smiling, and they really like are honest to you. And I was shocked that they like generally like me, because sometimes when they say, come here, eat with me, sleep in our house, I feel like, oh, maybe I'm a burden for them. But I'm never a burden for them, no matter what. They are just fine with like some foreigner sleeping in their house. And it really makes me happy, because when someone in Germany wants to sleep over at my house, I'm always like, oh, maybe not. I need my space. I want to be alone for a time. But they're okay with not being alone.
Yeah, they're more community minded, less individualistic, I guess. Yeah, we're a little bit like that in Canada too. People are pretty independent. You know, they want their own space. But yeah, Filipinos are definitely more flexible with that than we are, I think. Very giving as well, very generous with their time and their things. Like you're saying, offering to give you food, offering, a place for you to sleep. And it is kind of ironic that a lot of times the people that, maybe have less to give more of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's definitely a life lesson in there about what's important, what really matters in life.
Yeah, when I like go outside with some of the people that are like from the orphanage, that don't have any money, and they have like 100 peso for 1 week, and then I say, no, I will pay the jeepney for you. But they say, no, 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 you will not pay that, I will pay that. And then they try to sneak it into my pocket, and we're like fighting for who will pay. But I say, I'm from Germany, I have the privilege to like libre you.
Yeah, that's powerful. Filipinos are such generous people. They're so generous.